Hey everybody, I'm Christopher Green. You're watching Greenwave TV, alternative media television. And if you're liberty-minded, please consider advertising with us on our next video. Click the link below me. So I got a question from a viewer that said, Christopher, I'm a liberal. I don't agree with the right. I don't agree with the conservatives. Why should I be concerned about President Barack Obama's 23 executive actions to ban guns in the United States of America? Well, here are two very big reasons I think you should consider. Reason number one, ground invasion. Now, we haven't had a ground invasion here in the United States since the first American Revolutionary War, when we declared independence with the Declaration of Independence in 1776. We fought the Redcoats, we formed and had militias at the time, and we won. Welcome to the United States of America. So the first thing that you should consider is a ground invasion. In fact, a lot of people don't know that Commander Yamamoto of Japan, when he attacked Pearl Harbor before the outbreak of World War II, one of the reasons the Japanese didn't couple that with a ground invasion on the ground in Honolulu or on the ground anywhere in the United States is because he feared an armed American patriot behind every blade of grass. Notice how he didn't fear the military at the time, which was weak here in our country, but he feared the armed and dangerous American patriot. It's one of the reasons, one of the biggest reasons that our founding fathers gave us the Second Amendment in the first place, is to protect our homeland. So I want you to think about this for a minute. I want you to envision and to think about what America is going to look like after President Barack Obama implements these 23 executive orders along with his recommendations to Congress. But another reason you need to consider what the impact of a ground invasion would look like here in the United States is think for a minute you're the enemy of the USA. Think for a minute you're Al-Qaeda, or you're, say, North Korea, or you're China, and you know that the American people have been disarmed. You know that the American people now do not have AK-47s, do not have weapons of war, I like to call them weapons of self-defense, to protect themselves and to protect their homeland. Do you think that that is a vulnerability, or do you not think that that isn't a vulnerability for America to have? So why wouldn't President Barack Obama want the American people armed? Why would he want to put our children at risk? Because he says that's our top priority. Why would he want to put our children at risk of a ground invasion here in the United States? So that's the first thing you should consider, and that is what you should research in more depth. Study history. Study what happens to people once they're disarmed. History tells you what happens. Reason number two is that the Second Amendment specifically states that we have every right as free Americans to form a well-regulated militia here in the United States of America. So Christopher, how would we form and how do we form a well-regulated militia here in the United States of America if we can't possess the same weapons and guns that the federal government possesses? So by possessing these weapons of self-defense, by possessing AK-47s, we at least have a fighting chance to fight off a foreign invasion, form those well-regulated militias, and set a precedent for the rest of the world to fear us. Now, a lot of liberals will tell me, Christopher, I don't fear my government. I don't fear the United States of America. I trust President Barack Obama. I don't personally agree with that, but the people that I talk to that do not fear their own government, that actually believe, falsely in my opinion, that President Barack Obama and our current leadership has their best interests at heart, still fear foreign governments. They still fear other countries like North Korea, China, countries that would want to take us over. They fear terrorism. They fear Al-Qaeda. So why would you want to give terrorist groups, why would you want to give foreign countries, enemies of the United States, an advantage or an edge to take over our cities, our towns, our churches, and our land here in the United States of America? You know, the federal government is responsible for more mass death, it's called democide, than any other non-natural cause in human history. In fact, there is a leading scholar in the field, his name is R.J. Rummel out of the University of Hawaii, who's dedicated his life to studying this, and he's estimated that there's been hundreds and hundreds of millions of people murdered by their government in non-war than any other cause in the history of the world. And so those are two good reasons why you should be concerned about Obama's 23 executive orders, why you should be concerned about the average Joe on the street being stripped of his ability and right, a constitutional right, and the Bill of Rights to form not only a regulated militia, but to defend ourselves and our homeland from an aggressor nation. These are extremely important consequences to think about. That's all I have for today. I'm Christopher Green. You've been watching Greenwave TV, alternative media television. If you like this video, please share it, subscribe on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and get it out to the viewing public. Peace. Oh yeah, and don't forget to click the link below.